what I'm trying to tell you with this is that our democracy at this moment has clear, serious problems. The one is that in the eyes of Namibians, democracy no longer delivers. In some societies, the argument would be that democracy has intrinsic value, that it's good for people to have the freedom of speech, that it's good for people to have human rights and all these intrinsic qualities. In poorer societies, though, the expectations is that democracy has also to deliver on economic goods. We have to address poverty. It has to look at income gaps and all these things that we've highlighted. Our democracy, I believe, is losing support because it's not seen to be delivering. A second point is that the Namibian society and government, we're busy developing a suspended state. We've got lots of questions asking how often do you have contact with, and then we list government officials or party members and so on. There's almost no contact with the society. This means that the state operates in a vacuum, that the state and ministries often operate for their own good rather than that of the people. We've seen that people are very critical about the performance in terms of policies and in terms of institutions. A third point. It is my belief that our institutions have been hollowed out. Our democratic institutions exist in name and on paper, but they don't deliver, which I think is a huge problem. It's part of the reason why democracy is seen not to be working. A fourth important problem is that trust in political and public institutions have been converted into cynicism and skepticism. These things are closely related to performance, but they are so extensive, it's not focused on any one or two institutions, it's across board. In order for democracy to regain trust, we have to revise these institutions. These institutions have to become trust-generating entities. And a final point, perhaps even more important, we see that most Namibians have disengaged from the party political scene. We report voter turnout as a percentage of registered voters, which I think is the wrong thing to do. We need to look at the voting age population, the population of people who are 18 years and older and thus entitled to vote. If we look at that, the last election in 2019 produced only 55% turnout. That means 45% of people of voting age have not voted. They probably haven't registered even. So we're seeing that people are leaving the political sphere. Political parties are more and more operating like cartels rather than mass political institutions. I think it's a clear indication that what's around and what's available at the moment, including the ruling party, does not have the same level of public appeal it had before. And I think what's happening, this is happening quicker amongst the younger people. So our society is in desperate need for political homes for a large chunk of our citizens who've lost their political voice.